All right. Just wanted to record this. Maybe it can be useful later. Okay. Here's my VS Code. All right. So this is our Explorer. Any file that we create is going to show up here. So we don't have any files. The first thing we're gonna do is we are gonna you can click here and you can see this like four things. Click on this file like with plus to create a new file. Okay. Click on that. You see here there's things like a paper sign with the plus, create a file. So let's name it test.py. So in VS Code, and like when you're creating your files, that dot and after that dot indicates what is the type of your file. When you type py, it means Python, so it's a Python file. If you type .md, it's a markdown file. What's a markdown file? What's a markdown file? Markdown file is just simply like a note document. You're documenting in a markdown version. Okay, I'll show you. I already added the same thing that we are going over as a markdown. You can open it. Okay, so you can go to Canvas. You see this file? It has like .markdown. You can download it. Okay, you can download it, and like you can open it in your if you click on it, it will open up. Let me see. It will show you. Yes, this is my decision. Okay, so this is a type of markdown. You see these signs? These are like basically their features. Like for example, in Markdown, when you put something inside double star, means that when you're showing it, show it as a title. Here you see this sign. If you open the Markdown, then on the right side there is like a search thing. So if I click on it, I can see that. Okay. So it's just a way to create notes and you can show the notes. That's the Markdown. Okay. A lot of companies now work with Markdown documentation. And if you're working with programming, a lot of times you're going to create a lot of Markdown files. Those are the files that you probably referenced it to the AI to check for your plan because you're documenting it in a Markdown file. So you can see that at the documentation. So for example, here, do you see these two signs? I don't remember them. I have to I kind of like learn over time that like if you put like 3/, what does 3/ mean? Like hashtag, I think hashtag. So if you put like a hashtag thing, it means okay, it means this thing that like bolded, like do it. You don't need to memorize this, you're not going to use it, but I want to say that like this becomes kind of a practice thing that you can learn from. So I just wanted to show you that what is a markdown file, but if you open it this way, it's not in your file, okay? You can do this thing. If you want to save it, and we can create a file. You see that it's not one of our files, right? Let's create a markdown file and then copy this document into it. I'm gonna select everything here, make a copy of it, and go to this sign, click new file. This is session 2 notes .md means markdown. I created it in my repository. Okay, this way, when you go back to this file, you will remember the notes that we went through in that session. So put that file into that repository. So when like file, okay. So I created that markdown file. I can paste it here. Okay, now my markdown file, I can close this. This was just opening up. Now it's part of my project folder, my project explorer. All right. Any questions? Yeah. Again, if you click on this one, okay, so you create these markdown files, you can click on them, which actually you can see this this version of them. Okay. actually the node versions. All right, I'm going to close this. So back to our Python file. This is the part that you, like the file itself, that's where you type your codes, your project codes. So I'm going to type a very simple thing, print, okay, Python code, print. The point here is not like coding for this session. It's just about setting up our system. So I'm just going to type a very simple thing. Hello. This is the first step. To create a new file in Git repository. All right. So now, do you see this like a play button here on the right side? So this is the code that we can run it. It's a Python code. We can run it to actually see the results. So I'm going to run it. When I run it, this is our terminal. Sometimes you code in the terminal. Sometimes you type the code inside your point. That's the code, but this is the terminal. You use the terminal for other reasons. We'll talk about that. You can start a new terminal. Just click on this plus, start a new terminal. You can remove it. I'm going to delete it. Go to this terminal tab here at the top. Create a new terminal. Sometimes terminals get messy because you're running like a project multiple times. So just like sometimes it's better to just close, like delete the terminal. You're not deleting the project, right? Terminal is where you're running the application. You can remove it and then start a new terminal to just clean up. So you know where you're going, like what is it happening when you're running your code. So I created it and I'm gonna run it and it's gonna like run and it shows me that code. How many of you finished this part? Done? Yes? All right, this is good. So now we kind of like created this file. Let's talk about version control. How many times you work in a project that your teammate has supposed to do something and they haven't done it, and you're worried, like you're kind of like upset about it, but you can't say to your, like, you know, how much they contributed or how much you contributed. There is no evidence of it. How many times you've assigned different tasks to different people in your project, and then went back and they've done that part, but you don't know actually how much they've changed the file. How many times that happens? You don't exactly know what they did. They've changed it, they've contributed it, but you don't know how much. They changed the title. We were creating a presentation with 3 different people. This person was supposed to change the title, change the first slide. They did something, but I'm not sure what they did because there is no documentation of it. That person didn't document what they did. Documentation is one of the main important part of any MIS person. When you're working in a company, you have to document. You have to document what you did, when you did it, and how you did it. Why? Because first, that's how you measure your job, your work is measured, your contribution to that company is measured. Second, what if you decide to leave the company? How do I know what you did? Like, and I replaced you with someone new. How do I figure out what you did and like where that person should start? I need the documentations that have been created over time to take and give it to that new person, and that person reviews the documents to be like to get on board with where is the state of this project. The same way you joined a new company, you want to get it started, you want to know where is the state of this project that you've like entered and like where you should start. If there is no documentation, historical documentation, how are you going to figure it out? Right? For all those reasons, you need GitHub. GitHub is a version control website. I've done this so many times in the past. I've written like some documents, probably when I was doing my PhD. I had this folder of my dissertation with 10 different files. Each one of them had version 1, version 2, version 3, version 10. And then I went back at some point and I didn't know which actually was the last version, because I created these files and sometimes I had to go back and like copy one thing from the other file, and I didn't know which actually is the last version, because I didn't use a version control system. I just created files and named them as a version 1, version 2. So we're learning to use a version control system that makes it automated, that keeps a historical record of every change we make to a project, and also keeps a copy of our file over time in every step. That way, we won't lose our file. Okay, we won't lose our file. So version control. Let's go back to start. Like go to GitHub. I'm gonna this time start from here. Go to github.com, create an account. Please create an account, and then your dashboard. And when you're done with that, then you can move on to the next step. This is like an application website that every company uses, not just one company, not every company, just every person who knows how much version control is important. So make sure to kind of like use it and like kind of like practice like using it in different projects. And I will tell you how. You see this? Okay, let's not get distracted. I keep reminding myself. All right, did you create the account? Do you see your dashboard? All right, so your GitHub is created. You probably see something like this, which is empty. It's not like this. I have so many projects in my dashboard. In my commit, I'm gonna go to my profile, okay? Okay, so if you probably see this profile, you can go to your page profile and you can see this like thing that is empty. These green signs indicate my contribution, my savings into my files, and like you can see them. But the important part is these things. Like, do you see that repository? Mine is like 50. So I have 50 projects stored in that website. Okay. Right now, the website that you're using, the whole project is in this website, and that's how you like use it. Like the whole code and everything is here, and like that's how you get connected to it. Actually, anyway. So we're gonna learn how to use this website for version control of our projects. Repository, every project is a new repository. For every project, we create a new repository, okay? One, we can create it manually. From here by just simply click on new and then creating it manually. Let's move like do that next session, because I didn't do it in the prior session. I'm going to keep that manual part to the next session, so we stay on track. That's manually, but then, so our GitHub account is ready. Let's go back to VS Code. Do you see this like icon here? It's like a chat icon on the top. Click on it, see if it asks you to log into your GitHub account. Try to log into your GitHub account. You should be able to see this. All right, you should be able to see this right panel here. This is Copilot for GitHub. If you created the account for GitHub with your like UD email address, you will have free access to some models here to use them. You can also like actually even if you didn't create it with your UD email address, you still can connect it later to use the free kind of version of that file. I mean, free version, free interaction with the AI model. So this way, you make sure that like you're connected your GitHub to your VS Code. John, do you see this part? Yes. Um, it's I can check it later why it doesn't show it for you. Maybe like the version is not in that, but we can install it. Okay. Yes. Any question? Have you set it up? Yes. All right. Let's talk about this part because over time you will probably at some point will use them. Okay, will use it. So these are like your copilot. You can add other extensions. I already have an extension for codecs. Okay. We are not gonna get into it, but this is GitHub, like sorry, this is my GPT-5 other extension. Here you have your Copilot. Copilot allows, like, enables you to interact with different AI models. Okay. Chat with them, use their help in your code. Do you see here? Do you have this part? Can you click here to see if you see anything about this for manage models? It doesn't show it to you. Maybe maybe you should check the settings, custom agents, or somewhere to like set up chat settings. Probably you can check it later, but basically what it will enable you to kind of like interact with different AI models. You can select a model here. Okay, that's what I have. You see, I have like auto 10% discount, whatever. And then like other models that I can use to interact with in my project development. Some of them come with the account, like a free account for the students. You can probably check that. Additional note, what does this mean? Like 1x, 3x, 0x for future reference sets. Probably we don't use them that much. But what they mean. So whenever you're talking to an AI model, every word you use can become a token called token. Every word. And every word that is being sent to an AI model is costly. Costs something. So these like values here indicate how that value multiplied by what value, something like that. Okay. So as much as this value is greater, it just means like your conversation is more expensive for you. So that 3x means that if you use this model and have a conversation with it and like use your help, you're spending more money. Yeah, you're consuming more cost. Again, first, it has to be enabled for you. Some models are enabled in the free version. You can go to your GitHub account and get a $20 monthly account, and it allows you to use all of these like models, like $25. But again, that $20 model, like $20 account, I can go it here. Settings, okay, billing, okay, overview and usage. Last month probably I spent like probably a ton of money here, but it just shows me how much I'm spending money on the conversations I have. Some of it is like becoming like my monthly account. I'm using it sometimes. Most of the case, my usage is much more than my monthly account, and like that's why I ran out of like things. I have to spend more to get more usage. But that's what it shows. Like it kind of like gives you an idea of like how much you can get a Copilot Pro for like $10 per month, or like GitHub Pro, and like other features if you need that. So you can set this up on the platform. So here you can like set up the model you're using. Usually probably use the one that is like cheaper. If you want to use it, just use the one that is cheaper. And then there is something here, okay? You probably see agent ask edit plan, okay? This is like this is you will see this thing frequently with every like AI models that you interact with for programmers. Agent, and also probably in other projects. Agent mode, ask mode, edit mode. The difference. So let's say I put it in agent mode and I ask it, hey, can you like I have this like error here. It will check the error and it will try to fix it and it will try to change my code. I made it an agent. I allowed it to do it. If I put it into like for example, ask or edit, I can't remember it. It will take my code and then it will tell me probably what is the error and how I can fix it. And sometimes it probably asks me if you want, I can fix it. So these are the steps it's taking. There is a difference between agent mode and edit mode, or like ask mode. So each one of them has more authority basically in changing the code. So that's about it, like agent and like ask or edit. And this is like your AI model and like other features here. All right. Before I forget, all right, suggestion. I don't know if I wonder if you see the sign at the bottom of this, like your Copilot. It's kind of like a I don't know, something next to it. Do you see this thing here? I'm gonna move this. Does it show? Like that sign? Do you see it? If you see it, uncheck this next edit suggestions. Uncheck, okay? Uncheck that. And also in files, okay, just make sure to uncheck every one of them. As long as there is like a slash on that agent thing. Like, do you see this? That should be in like a cut thing. Okay, so uncheck these three things. All right, let's get back to the actual part. So we kind of like set up some things that we can like kind of like move forward with it. Now, let's go back to the file. Okay, vocabulary. These words are going to be added to your vocabulary, and you have to like kind of like repeat them multiple times over the course of the session, the semester, to kind of like remind yourself what they are. Repository. You already know what is a repository. Is that a storage that you're storing your project. Okay. If I go to my GitHub, okay, I can go to my GitHub and see my repositories here. Each one of them are one folder project. Okay, each one of them are one repository, and like each one of them is for one of like the projects I have. Repository, a stage, commit, push, and clone and pull. Let me go back to this because I want to like first try this thing. Okay, 2 lines. Okay, let's go to terminal. Let's go to terminal and try this to see if it works. Okay, these 2 lines, do you see them? So before, like initially when we start using GitHub, okay, we want to make sure that whenever we are recording something, it is recorded based on our name and information, so people can track it and you can track it. You want to know who contributed what, who did the change, who was it, when it was happened. So these kind of like terminal codes will set the name and like information of the person who is like doing these changes. So for here, okay, I'm gonna type, let me see, git, okay. Again, I'm typing this in the terminal, not in the code, in the terminal here. Git config. Let me also close this. Git config global line. Okay, 2 lines. Global. Okay, user dot name. Okay, git config // no, fine. Global user dot name space and my name. Okay, your name. Well, any name that you want. That like when you're changing and you're recording the changes, that's when like how you like the change should be recorded. Okay, I'm gonna type my own name. All right, enter, so that code is being run and recorded. So git config you know what is this line? Global space user name and then space my name. Next, git config, again the same, global user dot email. User dot email. User dot email, and just type your email address that you wanted to be recorded with this. Just gonna use my own email address, my Gmail address. Okay. All right. Oh, I typed the what is that? Glow. Did I type this incorrectly? It's config. Global. User that email. Sometimes it's it's config. I think I might have done it before, so it's kind of showing me error. I am not sure. Give config global. Oh, okay. Global. Okay. User dot email. All right. Yes, it worked. Sometimes it's better to just like delete the terminal and open it again like this. Okay, so we set the information about the person who is actually working with this system and trying, like every time you're changing and like you're recording your changes, it's gonna be recorded with these information, with your name and with the email that you set. I already also set the other one, git config global user.name. Okay. I already add that part. Again, I probably did something wrong. Oh God. Okay. Global user.name. All right. So I set my name, I set my email address. Now every time I record it, it gets recorded with my information. Everyone did that? Yes. Is there any question? Are we good? All right, great. So let's go move on to the next part. So we can check this. Actually, we can check the Git version. Let me just actually check this Git line version. Okay, this gives us like the version of GitHub that is stored in our system. So my Git version 2.39.5 global. So here's the thing, I don't remember them. I mean, I don't memorize them, and I'm not expecting you to memorize them. Just kind of like over time, we'll try to practice them more and more, and we'll remember. All right. So that's how you can check like your GitHub version or Git version. All right. So now I need to reorganize this file a little bit better. All right. Let's go back to the vocabulary. So these are the things that you want to memorize. Not memorize. Remember. The stage, commit, push. Let's put the other ones for the next step. So 3 things. The stage or git add, git commit, or like commit and push. What is it? What they are and what they mean. The stage. Okay. So I've worked on a file. I've worked on a project. I've worked on one file or multiple files. I've made changes to them. Now I'm ready to record them. Record those changes. Sometimes this can be treated like a confusing, meaning that like, so we are already saving them. What do you mean by recording them? Make sure in the file, it's always stays in autosave. That's a different thing. When you making changes to your file, if you put it into autosave, it always saves whatever you're working on, just automatically saves it. So going back to this idea of like staging to record my changes, again, the idea is to record changes by notes so that later you can check the versions, the things that like over time you've changed different versions and like what was the change you made. So when you say set the stage, you say, I want to prepare to record that change. So you use the stage that starts the process or like the step to record that change. Commit and push. So 2 keywords, commit and push. Commit. When you type commit or use commit, meaning that like you recording this change locally on your computer locally. Why are you committing it versus autosave? Autosave saves the files. When you're committing it, you're trying to say, I changed this file, and this is the note indicating what was the change I made. What was the change I made? Okay. So it becomes recorded locally. Later, you can come back and check your commits and see in the correct order what changes you made. Check out your notes. Then push. That's when you push your changes to GitHub. Before you like run that part, pushing to GitHub, your code is still, your changes are still locally recorded. You have to run push so that change is recorded into GitHub. That makes sense? So again, set the stage, commit, meaning that first you have to record it locally. Once you recorded the change locally, then push it to GitHub. That way, a new record is being added to GitHub history in your repository, for that repository. A new record is added in showing the note, showing what was the change, and exactly in terms of like coding, it is going to show exactly what change was made to that file with the changes in terms of removing, updating, or anything. So with that, let's actually see how it goes. Okay, I created this file, and also this is my repository here. Okay, do you see this part on the left side, source control? this is where you're going to see your commits. You're going to see if there is anything to commit. You're going to see if there is anything to push. You might have already committed them, but you haven't pushed it to GitHub. Then you will see that. For now, let's go back to this terminal thing. Focus on it. Okay, let's start from staging. I've already created this file, like other files. I want to set them, like stage them for committing. I'm going to create a new one to just like show you. You don't need to create like a new terminal every time. I'm just like kind of like trying to keep it cleaner so we can see it. Git add and then dot. Okay, this is when you set up this like the part that you want to like set the stage for recording the changes. What does that mean? You use the git add for setting the stage. Dot means, okay, either you use the dot or you use the actual name of the file that you want to record. You want to specify this file was recorded, or the whole, like, you want to commit the whole thing. I could type dot, or I could type test.py. If I type test.py, it only records the changes I made into exactly that file. So if you made changes into 10 different files, when you run this, it only commits the changes you made to test.py, not the other one. But if you run git add dot, it sets the stage to record all the changes in every file. That makes sense? Okay, so the difference. If you put dot, all the changes are being checked for recording, and otherwise this one. So not a oh, okay. So we haven't created the repository yet. What we can do is like we can type this git init. Okay, git init. Right? So what happens when you type git init? Okay, there are two ways. Do you remember I told you you will create either a repository manually on GitHub, or we can create it here, and if after we like record this change, it will create that repository on GitHub. So I created type git init. So now it created, initialized an empty git repository. Again, it is still local. We haven't made this into GitHub. So the repository is created. Now git add dot. I stage my changes because first I created the repository. I stage my change. Now, okay. So which one do we do first? Commit or push? Always first commit and then push. You commit and then push it to GitHub. So git commit, let's see, okay, show you the code here. Git init, that's the first step, initialize the thing, git add, git commit. So that's the thing, git commit, flag, and then inside double quotation, that's your node. It is going to describe the changes you made. It is going to record the changes you made. Sometimes I've done commits that were probably one-page commit because the significance of change was so much that I had to record so many different things. I changed this part, I reorganized this part, so that recording will help me to make sure that I remember what changes I made. Git commit /m or m inside double quotation, committing or like first record into GitHub the test file, side double quotation. So that's the note I'm adding with this change. If I go to my history, it's going to help me to know in this step what I did. Okay. Git commit. Again, we are typing this into the terminal. See, we haven't changed anything in the code. We already have the code. We are just going through the steps of version control. All right. So what did happen? I committed it. What it says, two files changed because I typed git add and dot. So it checks all the files. And like it is going to commit all the files. Two files, 478 insertion. Why is it that much? Because the other file I had, like the MD file, had a lot of like new content. That's why it's so big. Create mode, session note, create mode, test file. Like you see the name of the files that we committed. Okay, so our file is committed. Let's check the commit. Okay, you see this? This is my commit. This is my commit. It is a still, again, what is it? Is it local or public? It is still local. We haven't pushed it. We have to push it. Okay. First, what we can do here is to click on public branch or publish branch, because we are creating the repository locally. So we want to set some things like I'm going to click on publish branch. It shows me two options for my repository, private or public. Do you want this repository to be public? Everyone will see it on GitHub, or private? I can only see it. For now, let's set everything to private. So I'm going to use private, and that's the name of the repository. You see that? All right. It created that like repository and it pushed it. But let's also try git push. Git push. Okay. Git push. Very simple. Just the code. If I have it here, never mind. Git push. Okay. What did it tell me? I already pushed everything, but that's fine. Everything is up to date. Now, let's make sure that we can check this. First, I'm going to check my files. Do you see any green thing in the files? Once you set up your GitHub, if you change your files, I'm going to change it. You see what happened? The file color is changed. It just tells me there is some change here that hasn't been committed. Hasn't been committed. When it doesn't show that, that means like everything is committed. Okay. And it's going to change back. So let's go back, all of you. Go to your GitHub. Go to your GitHub, go to your repository, and make sure that you can see that file. Do you see that repository created in your account? Yes? Click on it. Do you see these two files here? Let's check out our commit history. I'm going to click here. Do you see one commit? It shows me my commit history. I can click on my commit. I can see the title of my commit, the notes for my commit. It will remind me what was the change I made in that commit. It shows me the time of my commit. There is a number here. Anytime later you want to reference to a change, you can use that reference and like quickly focus on that commit. And then double click on it or just click on it. What does it show you? It shows you how many changes you made. The numbers, like red ones indicate how many were deleted. You didn't delete anything, so it's 0. How many added were made? That green thing shows you how many new things were added. The green one indicates the added. If it's something you removed it will indicate that it is removed. This way, you can like do this, go to your file later, add different things and do this a few times, and you will see your commit history. Once you see your commit history, and that's when you realize like what does version control mean in this context. Okay, any question? Good. This is just the first step. We're gonna like do this so many times that like you just get used to like git add, git commit, git push, git add, git commit, git push. These 3 things. All right. Before you go, Let me just try first time, take the attendance. Okay. You can go to your system. I'm going to create a code, right? You can type this code and it will take your attendance. I will be here if you have any questions.
Can you put up the enrollment key again?
Yes. Let's show it and then I can do it. Yeah. All right. Thank you.